Hey gamers, today we're going to review the big box Escape Zombie City. Let's check it out. To set up for the game, you're going to take these four, what's called S starter tiles there. You're going to put these arrows, the skull arrows are always going toward the church, leading to the church. This is the church tile where every player is starting off. This is the little useless van tile, but we just kind of put it over here for right now, where the getaway van will be. You're trying to get supplies for the van and then find the exit to get out of Zombie City. Depending on the amount of players is determining how many items you must go out and retrieve. Over here is the little graveyard. This is where the deck of cards come in. Now this deck will scale, and the rules will tell you this depending on what type of numbers you want here. You can adjust on how hard you want it. I would go with the first deck, deck A, all the ones included on that one, before going to the second deck, which basically just has harder stuff. It also has things called zombie bites, which is very similar to curses from Curse of the Temple there, so just making you to do certain things. But first time you're playing, you want to play with the beginner's deck, then go to the advanced deck later on, and it's really awesome. Other things for setup, you will have A tiles, and then you'll have B tiles. You'll take both of them. The exit is right there. You'll be trying to get to the exit there, but you'll shuffle both of these and put the A stack on top of the B stack, and then you are ready to play. Now this big box edition comes with a CD, which I do like because things can get loud, and it's better than just playing it over the internet, your laptop, or your phone. CDs can be very loud if you have good CD players. But anyway, each player is going to start with 5 die. The symbol on the die mean exactly the same things as Escape Curse of the Temple. Hands, fists, and bats are used to fight and to unlock certain items. Green can be used to go to certain tiles in accordance to hand and fist. And then of course you have Panic and Calm Down is like the blue, the black and gold mask from Curse of the Temple here. So whenever you roll, these cannot be re-rolled unless you get one of these, and this will unlock up to 2 of these fears. So if you have 2 fears, you may re-roll on them. One special rule about this is when you are fighting a zombie, and I should mention there are 3 types of zombies: green, yellow, and blue. Green being the easiest. They'll have a combination of either fist or bats. Reds will always be 5. You have to roll 5 of that kind, 4 of the kind for yellow, and 3 of the kind for green. However, when you are battling one of these zombies, zombies aren't these nasty, ugly-looking standees, but when you're battling one, you may never re-roll fear. Even if you roll a Calm Down, you cannot re-roll fear when you're battling zombies. So you may have to just kind of run off. You can escape from them, escape from their tile, but you cannot re-roll those until you move away. So it's best to travel in groups here, so you can together combine your dice to take out some of these big ones, which makes the red extremely hard. Now I should mention some of the icons on these cards are very simple. Every time you draw a tile, another big difference is when you draw a tile, to look for a tile, same thing, you need 2 running men. But when you reveal the tile, if it has one of these markings here, it could be a medic, could be a wrench, or could be a retail register. And that's where you would put one of these items on there. And basically you're just going to take this item and then flip it over, and that's going to be one of the potential items that you need to put in your van. Now of course what you need to do to unlock this is you need to go ahead and roll 3 bats or 3 fists, whatever it'll say here. You can unlock it. Each character can hold 1 item. They take this item with them and then drop it back into the church before moving back out. The only rule is you can't have, and some of these tokens there are doubles of them, you cannot have 2 of the same token in storage. So in those cases you may have to keep looking somewhere else. But every time someone takes one away, another good respawns there. Now in addition to, and let's say I was here and I rolled the 2 die to get that, or the 2 green men to open up that one, I'd put of course my tile there. And then you always have to reveal a card from the deck, a card, and follow the card's rules. Cards can make certain colored zombies move, and when they move, and by the way I placed this in wrong, has to have the skull pointing toward the street. That points eventually to the church. So if there was, let's say, a red zombie there, and I pulled this card, then all red zombies actually would move 1 according to the arrows on the tile. Now, if a zombie ever makes it to the church, then it goes right here in the graveyard. If 3 zombies make it to the graveyard, you have automatically lost the game. So you need to watch it as the zombies are wandering closer to the church. You need to go ahead and defeat them before they get to that church. Other icons here would say, hey, this one, you spawn a zombie on that tile. There are some more when you get to the other ones. There are these piles of zombies bodies. Here's a pile of zombie bodies. Whenever you see those type tiles, it says spawn a zombie on every square like that. Those are wicked ones, but like I said, these get harder as you go to the advanced deck, and you will want to go to the advanced deck eventually. So what you're doing is you're furiously rolling dice for X amount of minutes. This is a 15-minute game, unlike the Curse of the Temple, which is a 10-minute game. This one goes 15 minutes long, and of course, it goes over 3 rounds. The first 2 rounds, you're scavenging for goods and trying to find the exit. In the third round, you're trying to wrap up everything and get in the van and then go to the exit. Now, when you when every round ends with a knock on the door and then a church bell ringing, and you have to get back to the church in time. If you do not make it back before the doors slam, you will permanently lose one of your die. And in this game, with the Queenies and the expansion, there is absolutely no way to get those die back. This is a very hard game here. But anyway, so that's what you're doing. You're gathering resources, trying to power up the van. I should also mention that as you're moving the van, as you see here, it has an extra man token. That means everyone, you eliminate all of these, and then you start driving in the van together. Now, any zombies you come across, you'll have to battle, but you're all combining your rolls together. So it may be a little bit easier to move around town, but you have to roll. So for instance, if I want to get to this tile, I have to roll a man, and a man. If I want to go to this tile, I have to roll a man, and a fist, and so on and so forth, until I made it to the exit and got away. If you can get away under 3 rounds, you are the winner. Now, that is just the base game right there. The expansions come with tons of tiles, tons of extra zombies to kill. I should talk about the first one, Survivor Chronicles. Survivor Chronicles comes with a lot of just extra stuff. The main thing it does is all these characters. These are basically, they each give you special abilities in the game. They help you move faster, discover buildings faster, cut through buildings, or fight better, you know. So they're all kind of cool, all have their own things. You can give these out, and you definitely want to do that, especially if you're playing with some of these expansion tiles, because the expansion tiles, and this goes for all the Queenies as well. I'm kind of combining these all together here, but you have all these special tiles that do certain things, and these are just basically all the Queenies booked together here. This one, if you get here and roll 3 fist here, it moves every zombie 1 square backwards. So if they're kind of closing in on the church, this may be a way to disperse them. This one, of course, you have to, of course, as you see, spawning zombies everywhere. Not a very good one. This one here is basically a little safe zone. It's like going to the church, you can just hide out in there if you can't make it to the church. This one, if you go here, you can get any of the 3 different types of things by just throwing 3 fists. You can get one of those 3. This one is a really awesome one. If you go to this tile here and you discard any item, maybe it's a double item or something that you don't need, then you can kill any 2 zombies on the board. Love that one. And that's where all the good ones stop there. This, of course, you have to draw 3 cards when you're going on to that one. This one, when you're getting the car, you have to go to the specific tile and roll 7 fists together before you go to the exit. This one, if it's revealed, then you're going to take the old man in a wheelchair and you're going to move him with 2 bats, moving him to the van. This is kind of like the mummy Queenie from Escape Curse the Temple. And then this one here has 3 zombies on it. You must go in there and battle and kill all 3 of those zombies. This one has a barricade token. It goes right there on the X, and you have to remove it by trying to find a path around here, around the barricade, and then throwing up 5 fists. If you don't do that, you can't escape Zombie City. That's kind of a hard one. This one, you need 2 certain items, and then you need to go to this pit here and roll 3 fists. Those are just quests you have to complete. Very similar, of course, to the quest from Curse the Temple. Now, I should also mention that the expansion and Queenies, this is Queenie number 4, which is not included in the big box. But these are extra character standees if you want your game to look even uglier. We don't use those. We use those nice little wooden meeples. A third Queenie is just some extra quest cards. They say only put 3 in the deck each time, and you should. These are just certain quests you have to complete before you can exit Zombie City. There's also multiple ones of these. These are just extra zombies in Queenies and expansions here. Basically, they're just harder zombies you can put in the game. Like when he spawns, man, all green zombies will move. These zombies are all 3 different colors, which means whichever color is depicted here, whether it be red, green, or yellow, these fast-moving zombies will go either time, so you got to get rid of them quick. Again, this one's the same thing as the green one except for yellow. This one is you have to roll 3 fists and 3 bats to kill that one. This one, you just need the crowbar, but you have to find the crowbar. If it's back at the church, you have to go get it just to defeat that zombie there. This is the same thing, but with red. These 2 you cannot escape. They cost 4 bats for a fist, but you cannot escape from them. You can't run from them. That makes them kind of dangerous. These are just uber big zombies. They're both 7 each. Construction zombies there. And this one is a mama zombie. She does not move, but every time a red movement is issued out, she will spawn another zombie. There are also extra search tiles in the game, and these are in some of the Queenies here that can help you out. These are basically items in the game that can help you move faster. So it doesn't matter what the next, how to get to the next board here. So instead of rolling a man fist, all you have to do is roll man for anything on the map. This one I love. It gives you a +1 fist or bat when you're fighting zombies. These backpacks let you carry 2 items at a time instead of 1. It takes you, you can save some trips back and forth from the church. This one's really nice. Whenever you roll a gold mask, you unlock all black mask. And this is really nice. You can just skip trying to roll for the challenge if you're hurting on time. Use the flashlight and grab that item. Now this is a one-time use. This would be discarded in the game. And that is Escape Zombie City. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, I got Escape Curse of the Temple, and immediately my wife and I love that game, and I had to get this one. Obviously Queen Games, but more likely it was because it was Escape. Now, this is very hard for me because I swore my gateway game was the game called Zombies by Twilight Creations. I said, you know what? I'll never buy another zombie game. And I haven't for about 12 years. I've never bought, never played. I don't want to play any other zombie games. I've got my one zombie game that's always special to me. Now I have 2, and this one is better. This is a great game. Real-time, dice chucking. Played it with my wife. She absolutely loves this. The sound, I love the CD. Love the CD. We can play it really loud. One of the problems we had is playing it over your phone or over in a laptop on Escape, Curse the Temple. People are yelling and screaming, and we could not hear the gong. And so after a while, we're like, wait, I think this is the time we need to get back to the temple. What's going on? Or the game would end, and I'd look down and see that the music just stopped playing. We just could not hear it. Well, here you can't miss it with that CD cranked up loud. You can't miss it. By the way, I love the music. I love how everything gets quiet. Then there's 3 knocks on a door, and then the bell tolls once, twice, or 3 times. And then you hear the zombies snarling. Fantastic soundtrack. I don't get the goofy art in the super scary soundtrack. I don't really know what they were going for there. It's kind of goofy zombies. Maybe they didn't want to make it too dark, but the soundtrack is very dark. One thing I do not like about it, obviously, is the standees. I hate those standees. They're ugly. They're hideous. I wish they would have done maybe meeples or something else. I understand why, because you'd have to print the little icon on there, and it may not be able to be legible, but I really wish there was some kind of mini instead of the standees. The standees just bleh, not that good. The standees for the survivors, never use them. We never use them. Everyone wants to use the meeples because everyone loves meeples better. The special powers for, do you need more than just the base set? Do you have to get the big box? I would say get the big box. The survivor's powers are really good. The extra cards it comes with, the tiles, those are really hard, the tiles are, but you do get some reward tiles that are going to be reward items, that you can carry around. Those are super awesome. Those are super helpful. And the game is extremely hard. In fact, at 2 players, sometimes it's downright impossible to beat a red zombie because you can't re-roll your black. I like that rule. You're trying to get items, but also you can't just avoid zombies. You've got to fight them to get them away from the church. So you're kind of doing two things, but plus you're trying to expand your tiles by, you know, trying to find the exit. There's a lot of things going on in those first two rounds, and even the third round, that really keep you busy. You can't just focus on just one thing. Oh, I'll just go right next to this tile right next to me and travel 2 tiles back and forth getting items. Sure, you can do that, but while you're doing that, you're wasting your time if you're bringing all your people to get it, because you can do that in one round, but then you've only explored, what, 1 extra tile? And so now you're having to go through all these tiles in the deck, but then you're also going to have to fight zombies too, but then zombies are moving everywhere around the city. It can add up to be a lot, and that was one of the first mistakes we made when we lost the game. But there is so much going on. It's so much fun. People are yelling, screaming, having a great time. So the expansion, regular expansion, is great. Always will play with it. And then the Queenies. The Queenies just make it harder. Some of those tiles are great. Some of the tiles are good. Now again, the fourth Queenie is not included. The fourth Queenie came out 2 years later after this came out. This came out in 2015. The Queenie came out, the fourth Queenie came out in 2017. Don't know why that happened, but it did. So you can get the Queenie. It may cost maybe 10, 15 bucks. I don't know. Is it worth getting that fourth Queenie? I can't say. Again, that's the one with the extra character, which is a good one. It's the taxi driver. He is a good one, but I don't know if it's necessary, but if you're a completist, you may as well go ahead and get it. Mine came with this. Actually, mine came with an extra copy of all the Queenies except for 4. I got doubles of 1 through 3, which is fine because I need the base standees for different characters. But I absolutely think this is a great game. Between the two, probably like Curse of the Temple better, but this is more challenging. I will be honest. You get the cards, you can make them as difficult as you want, and it will be overwhelming. You will die, especially adding in those 3 Queenies. One time we put 4 of those challenges in the deck. Never again. We lost horribly. So this one is, I think, harder than Escape Curse of the Temple. And even though both games share similarities with one another, I think this one has enough to make it to justify getting both and owning both. But this one I'd say is a little bit harder. I like Curse of the Temple maybe better. I don't know. Anyway, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on.